Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Summer Blue Fox here. And tonight, we will be talking scary stories from my life. And these ones are true stories. No bullshit. These are actual stories. And tonight, we'll be going into details into my life with witchcraft and the Ouija board in Forest States, West Virginia. On a little hill known as Brick Hill. Tonight, prepare to be scared. And hello, Mr. Foxyton. Tonight, scary stories. Let's begin with a story of Brick Hill. In Forest States, outside of the little town of Worthington, there's a community known as Forest States. In the backwoods, there's two hills. One is another hill I don't remember the name of, but the other one is known as Brick Hill. And on Brick Hill there's a house that is made up of 3 lots, which consisted of 3 houses. One is falling down still. One was torn down and burned to ash. And I don't mean just burned with just a house. 2 people died in that house. They never removed the bodies. All they did was just burn the house with the bodies in it and bury it. And that's part of the scary story. That's where it comes into play. Well, they buried the house, which was filthy, and they buried it. And, matter of fact, there was several murders there. The house that my sister moved in, the recent owner was shot to death in a bad drug deal with a machine gun upstairs in my sister's bedroom. And when she first moved in, I walked upstairs to see the place. And the first time I walked in, I got chills down my spine. I felt a presence. I walked upstairs and I was drawn upstairs, and I went to the wall by the closet in her room. I felt the wall, and there's bullet holes covered in plaster. You can feel the dents in the plaster in the brick wall. Now the house didn't have no drywall. It was mainly consisted of a foot-thick brick wall inside and out. And turns out the history of that house, back in the 70s and 60s, there was a bad person who killed children there, and his house caught fire and burned him alive in it. And what they did was the frame of the house, the brick frame, was left after the fire, and they rebuilt the house from the ground up using the old frame and redid it. Several times it burnt. And each time there was a murderer that lived there. And then, before my sister moved in there, somebody was killed there. Well, my sister, being who she was and being into the witchcraft, basically thought it was a good idea to get a Ouija board. Well, she just didn't want a Ouija board, just a normal sermons. Well, seances, I call them sermons, more like it. They basically, well, how do I put this? My sister got a piece of chalk, you see, a big piece of those chalk you use on a sidewalk. She took it on the back and drew a pentagram circle, satanic symbols on the back of it. And then she decided she was going to be even smarter and don't follow what the booklet said by not taking out the glass eye of the thing you hold the needle. You're not supposed to take that eye out because it can summon demons. And without that eye to filter it, you let whatever comes in come in. Even some really powerful stuff. Well, she lit a candle and we decided to film her seances to see what we could conjure up. Well, we basically started, normal, like who's here and all that stuff. Well, all of a sudden, the needle went crazy. It flew out of me and my sister's hands. It went like this. Back and forth. And then it started to spell out here. We asked who is here. and it said its name was Ball. And then the needle did a 8 symbol. We looked it up in the book, and it said that when it does the infinity symbol, it means it's a demon. It wasn't just any demon, it was a high-ranking demon, which was listed in the booklet as Ball. There was Ball, Azuzu, and a few others I can't really pronounce. There was a Biathan too. But the two we got most was Azuzu and Ball. Those are the two demons we got the most. And one night when we were doing our 20th seance, we got a response, a really bad response. The camera was pointed towards the living room, and it's a real big red candle with a flame in it. Well, when it said the name Ball, the flame shot up sky high, and we replayed the film. When that flame shot up, we freezed it, and there was an outline of a face in the flame, and it had horns right here and yellow eyes, and it was floating in the flame in the film. And it gets worse. It gets a lot worse. Hello? Oh, I'll just keep talking. Well, anyway, there was basically, after that happened, stuff started happening around the house. Stuff started moving by itself, and it just gets worse. I would stay over at nights and hang out, and basically, how do I say this? Basically, the house kind of came alive, as I like to put it. The room was breathing upstairs, but that's later on, because my sister, we kept practicing these seances constantly, and as we did this, the activity in the house got a lot worse. I was taking a bath one night in her jacuzzi tub, and I was sitting there, and then she had this soap on the side of her tub that started to shake like this. And it flew across the tub and slammed against the wall and splattered. And it was pretty bad. I screamed at my sister and said, "Amanda, please make them stop. I know it's you doing this. Now please make them stop." And she said, "Stop what, Matthew? I didn't do nothing." I said, "You made them do this to me again, didn't you?" And she said, "Maybe I did, maybe I didn't." And I said, "I know you're a witch, and I know exactly what you're doing. You're sending them after me." And she says, "Maybe I am, maybe I ain't." That was nice of her. Oh, and it gets better. There's 2 demons in that house. One lived in the basement, which we called the Faceless Man. We nicknamed him the Faceless Man because he didn't have a face. And then the second one was upstairs, which we nicknamed the Jagged Man, because he had horns all over his body and the glowing red eyes like coals, my sister said. She said she saw him. He was like a lizard creature, and he lived in her closet upstairs. Yeah, he was called the Jagged Man. And it gets even better. One night I came over to stay over, and I was sleeping in the living room floor because they wouldn't let me sleep on the couch. And all of a sudden I heard a bang noise. It was 3 a.m. I woke up to the sound of something upstairs. And I heard something bang on the floor. Well, I look up at the steps and I hear something crawling across the floor. And here comes my sister crawling down the stairs on all fours like this. and she's crawling on all fours like a dog, drooling at the foaming at the mouth. And when she gets to the bottom of the stairs, she's like this on the stairs, and then she just floats back up like this without even using her arms. She walks down the stairs, pulls a cigarette pack out of her pocket, puts the cigarette in her hand, puts it in her mouth, lights it up, and walks outside. I get up and I say, Amanda, what's going on? Why are you doing this? And she says, what are you talking about? I said, Amanda. And she says, I'm not Amanda. Amanda ain't here. And her eye pupils were black. Were shredded across her eye. Her whole eye was black as coal. Both of them. And I realized she was possessed. The only thing I knew to do was grab my Bible from the house that I kept with me for protection while I stayed there, run outside, and I pressed it against her head. Well, she let out a demonic growl, I mean a real bitter growl. And she picked me up with both hands under my armpits and threw me off the ground, a foot off the ground, flew into a brick wall and slammed in unconscious onto the floor of the porch. And if you were to see my sister, you would know there's no way she could have left my heavy butt. No way. I wish you guys were here. Anyone here? No. I must have scared everybody off. The thing is, these are all true stories. Nothing's made up at all. I'm telling you it as it happened. As it happened. So get ready for it. Because it's going to get good. Well, then we learn more of the history of the place. Turns out, not only did 2 serial killers live there that killed children, there's also, well, bodies buried in the basement underneath the cement, they said. They said people were murdered there and he killed them and buried them in the basement and then dumped cement in the floor, under the floor of the basement. They said there was dead bodies. And that's why the haunting was so bad. The house wasn't just infested with 2 spirits, or well, not spirits, but demons. It was infested with many spirits. And when my sister, the more she used the Ouija board, the more my sister got angry. The light sockets in her house, above her head, and the light sockets would glow red. Bright red, like the tip of that flag there. Like blood. Like they were filling up with blood. And it would blow out of the sockets, one after another, when she got angry. My sister was a real witch. And so am I a witch. I'm a warlock. And I can tell you horror stories. Too bad nobody's watching right now. I guess you're all too scared. Because nothing I'm saying is fake. I'm not even lying to you. I'm telling you the truth as it happened to me. Nothing's a lie. And I got more ghost stories where that came from, hundreds of them. Not just of forest states, but of places close by me here in Shinston. Places close by to me everywhere. Even Sandplant Hill. Because my grandma came back as a poltergeist up there. Nothing I've ever said about this stuff has been faked. Or lied about. Everything is real. Guess you're all scared. If you're not scared, then join me. Oh, yes. Join me. Because I'm going to keep going. Well, after the light sockets started blowing out of the sockets, My sister kept getting more possessed every night. One night she was possessed by a woman spirit that called herself Jennifer. I think it was Jennifer. But she would get demons and ghosts going in and out of her 24/7. They would basically take her over to do stuff. And we never knew what they were planning, but luckily she moved out of there after she destroyed the Ouija board. One day she had the board. She gave it to me to play with. I was playing with it by myself in the kitchen. All of a sudden she comes in the room, takes the board, and snaps it into 4 pieces. 4 pieces. She takes that board and throws it in the garbage. And guess what? That board reappeared in her house a week later. A full board. True fact. You cannot get rid of Ouija boards too easily. No. You can try burning them. You know what happens when you burn a Ouija board? They smell like burning human flesh. Imagine someone taking a hot iron and burning someone's neck or a leg or something. The smell of burning hair and burning flesh will sneeze your nostrils. That is what a Ouija board smells like. Burning human flesh. And some even say the board screams like a dying woman when you burn it in the fireplace. Some say it burns and screams from hell. I told you guys it was going to be scary. It wasn't going to be fake. I told you that. I'm really a happy person tonight. I just have a lot of good stories to tell. But, you guys like what you got so far? Because I'm going to keep going and keep this train going. Well, what else can I tell you about Forest Dates? Oh yeah, the man in the basement. Well, I would sleep down in the basement with the TV on. There was this old wooden box TV down there that we played. I got to watch cable television on. Well, the bathroom used to be in the basement, but we moved it upstairs. We turned the back porch into a bathroom. But anyway, I would sleep there on that couch, that old, ruggedy, ugly couch. And TV would be on. Well, I'll be laying there, laying back in the couch, just enjoying myself, looking at some magazines. And I'll look up in this little hole, like a little window up here above my head. And I'll see a shadow of a man walking around in that old bathroom. Walking around in a circle. Like this. Really slowly. Slowly. And it would stop and stare through that window and look at me. You people thought other furry YouTubers and YouTubers were scary. I scared away my audience. Well, what else can I tell you? There's plenty of stories. Oh, here's one that corroborates the fact that there was a murderer there back in the 70s. My sister decided she was going to make a garden out in her yard. Beautiful garden, tomatoes, all the goody goodies. Well, we start tilling the ground, springtime, just getting it up, We come across a black garbage bag. You know what was in that garbage bag? Bones. Bones. Little tiny bones from a baby animal or person. There's little tail bones, teeth, and we even found crappy jewelry like you would see on something you would buy out of a vending machine. And it gets better. Because we kept finding these bags of bones all over the place. Well, we said, oh, it's probably just deer bones or something, But we found little things in there. Jewelry and stuff. But not rich jewelry, but, childish jewelry. And we just brought it aside and kept digging. But I think those were human bones. I don't know. Probably deer bones, but who knows. But we do know there was people that were burned in their house and buried in the yard in the second lot. Now, the second lot was made into part of the yard, and the outline of the foundation was still there. Then there was a house on the other corner of the property that had a fallen-in roof, and it's fallen in. But all these three places were haunted. And the haunting contributed to that one house's haunting. So what do you guys think? Was that scary enough for you? Because I got the most horrifying part of that story now. One night I was home in my trailer in Enterprise. Got a phone call on my cell. Sister's frantically saying, Matthew, come! I'm so excited! I said, what are you excited about, sister? And she said, there's something you gotta see. Something's happening here. It's amazing. And I said, okay, man, I'll come over to see it, but it better not be nothing stupid, because I don't got that much gas. Well, I'm driving, driving along, drive up to the house in Forest Estates. And I come out of my car, I shut the door, look out, man is out on the porch saying, Matthew, it's happening again. And I said, okay, Amanda, I'll go see what this is all about. She says, come upstairs, it's wonderful. And I said, okay, I'm walking upstairs, walking upstairs. And I come to the bedroom. And to my terror, the room was breathing. It was breathing like a human one. And you could actually hear it breathing. It would do that, you hear this. It would sound just like that. And when it did that, air would suck into the room. You could feel the air sucking in and sucking out. And pushing out, I should say. And there's these Christmas lights all the way around the ceiling. And basically, when that room did this, those lights would dim to black almost and make it dark in there. And when it did this, those lights would glow real bright, like a spotlight. These are Christmas lights now. Well, to check the room, I felt the brick wall. It had a pulse, a blood pulse running through it. I put my ear up to it. You can hear this. It had a heartbeat coming through it, and a pulse, like a blood vein in the heart. And about that time, my ass was out of there. I told him, man, as I was leaving, I said, if you stay in this house one more night, you're a dead woman. Because you're not going to live through this much longer. She's like, oh, is this my friend? She used to call these demons, and these ghosts that possessed her and try to get her to kill everybody, her friends, her family. Now that was even scarier. But that's mainly the story. I wish you all were watching. You're missing out. You're missing out. I wish you were all here. Well, I guess you guys can see the live stream again, because guess what? It's going to be on YouTube. And I have no copyrighted music in the background at all. No footage from YouTube. No. So I shouldn't get demonetized at all, or doxxed. But if you want to see my story. To all my friends that said they would drop in tonight and probably missed this, it will be here for you to watch. This is Summer Blue Fox, signing out, my spookies. Don't let the demons crawl in bed with you. Happy Halloween.